Welcome back to the Perlerworks channel. My name is John. Today's video is sponsored by Squarespace. Stick around to the end to see how you can make your next move with Squarespace. Let's get to the build. In 2016, I ran the second Perlerworks Kickstarter campaign. I was selling my Bandsaw boxes, and this is the Smile design and probably the most popular design I've sold to date. So I want to show you guys how I made it. It has a couple of quirks compared to the other boxes I've shown before, so I want to share those with you. Right off the bat, the first two cuts are probably the most important cuts. The entry and exit cuts need to create some sort of tongue and groove like formation so that when we glue these parts together later, they don't slip. I like to leave at least a ½ inch of material extra on my blank so that I can do this. You can see that I start the cut lower than where the pattern says I should, and then I create a little bit of a hump and then start cutting into the pattern. Then I complete the cut and do the same thing when I exit. You can see here, I'll do it again on the top piece. I create a little bit of a hump and then come back down to my line. I'm using a 1/4 inch blade here so I can get away with having only a ½ inch of extra material. But if you're using something like a 3/8 or a ½ inch blade, you would need a little bit more extra material on the side of this blank. Now that I've created the top and bottom of the box, I can go ahead and cut the left and right sides of the box. What you're left with here is the drawer blank. I mark about a 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch in from either side and go ahead back to the bandsaw and cut the front and back off this blank. Then I mark the drawer cavity and cut that out as well. After all of those cuts, you're left with 7 parts. You have the top, bottom, left, and right of the outer box, and then you have the front, back, and shell of the drawer. Before gluing these pieces back together, I like to give them a good sanding. For some of these inside curves, I'll take them to the spindle sander, and for these outside curves, I'll just use an orbital sander. I just make sure not to sand any of the surfaces that will receive glue. Now I'll glue up the outer case. Because we cut the entry and exit cuts the way we did, these parts will not slip. If you don't do this, the parts will slip and you'll have a really hard time getting this clamped up. You can see how the parts mate together, and when I put some pressure on these clamps, the parts don't budge at all. I can also get the drawer glued up. It's important to label your parts before you make any of these cuts, so I like to label my blank with the front, left, right, back, top, and bottom. And if you're making more than one box, just do front 1, back 1, front 2, back 2. That way you won't get any of these parts confused when gluing them back up. After the glue dries, I can take some time and a chisel to clean up any glue squeeze out. I've mentioned this before, but a lot of bandsaw box tutorials will have you cut the back of your blank off as the first step. I like to start off with the back not even glued to the blank. That way I eliminate a step at the bandsaw and I have a much more seamless transition when I glue this back piece on. The template also includes the shapes of the legs and handle. I'm using some 3/4 inch walnut for this box, and I'm just going to do the same process of cutting out the template and gluing it with a glue stick. Then I'll head over to the bandsaw to cut them out. If I'm batching these boxes out, I'll probably throw these legs on the CNC so that they're a little bit more uniform and saves me a little bit of time. But if I'm only making 1 or 2 boxes, it makes more sense to just cut them out at the bandsaw. The little indent in the leg here compensates for the curvature of the box so that when you glue them together they mate perfectly. The last step at the bandsaw is to cut the box to its final shape. Because we made through cuts, The drawer is the same size as the opening, which means it's not going to fit right now. I like to start off by sanding the back side of the drawer, making that fit, and then I can move on to the front side. After a bit of trial and error, I got the back portion of the drawer to fit. Then I can move on to the front portion. You want to go really slow here and creep up on it. It's really important that the gap between the drawer and the box itself is even. It really makes the box look more, I don't want to say professional, but it makes it look less sloppy. The rest of this project is pretty much a bunch of sanding before getting the legs and handle attached. To glue this handle on, I just use a little bit of wood glue. Sometimes I'll use CA glue to get it tacked on there before adding clamps. I just eyeball to make sure it's centered, and that's good enough for me. If you follow the template, these should be pretty simple to attach, though if you were a little bit off, there should still be more than enough glue surface for these to stay secure. One of the boxes had a bit of a rock afterwards, so I just took a block plane to even them up. This is probably my least favorite part of making this box because it can be pretty simple to mess up this brand on a curved surface, though your boy managed to do it just fine this time. I gave these boxes 3 coats of Danish oil, and I didn't talk about the blanks earlier, but the outside pieces are made of quarter sawn mahogany and the inside pieces are walnut. I kept the mahogany pieces organized so the front and back will have a grain match when these are lined up next to each other. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. The smile box is one of my favorite designs, and I still have the first one I made up top here. It's made of solid walnut with wormy maple accent pieces. At that time, I didn't have the entry and exit cut technique that I do now, so it was a pain to glue up. If you want to make your own version of the smile box, just go to my website and I'll have the template there for free. And I'm also going to try to upload some of the other templates and plans I've shown in previous videos, things like the Pikeler triangle and the Maloof table. I get emails every now and again asking for them, and I have no problem sharing them with you guys. As I mentioned at the beginning, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one platform that allows anyone to create a beautiful website. There's nothing to install, patch, upgrade, update, or worry about. If you do run into any issues, Squarespace has an award-winning 24/7 customer support team. Whether that be through live chat or email, they have you covered for any issues. I recently switched to Squarespace and couldn't be happier. I was hesitant to redo my website, but it was super easy and definitely worth it. And if you go to squarespace.com/pillowworks, you can start a free trial and save 10% on your first purchase. Thanks, Squarespace. And here's some final photos of the smile boxes. Thanks for watching.